Hi, you guys. Oh, I haven't given you guys a story time in a long time. Not because I don't want to, but it's just like the things that I want to put out there and discuss are some tough topics. And in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, like I could do this, I could say this. But then when it comes time to doing it, I haven't done it. This video the topic that I'm gonna talk about today, I've been saying I was gonna put a video out about it for probably almost a year. Probably almost a year. And I had to sit and think to myself, like, why, Lisa, you say it's not, you know, something hard for you to talk about, but I think it is. Okay, so I was essayed, sexually abused, um, all before like the age of really being able to walk, around one ish, you know. And so how that even probably happened is because as a baby, at the time when my mom had me, there was like something going on, like in California. Like, if you tested like with any type of drugs positive, they would take your baby. She told my dad that, and my dad came and got me from the hospital. I think like, you know, whatever. I don't know, ASAP. And they end up taking my mom to jail. So I spent maybe the first 8 months, maybe to almost a year, without having my mom. She was in jail, and my dad took care of me to the best of his ability. I love my dad so much. Um, but yeah, it's funny how when these things happen, your body, your mind, just everything about you just shuts it out. Like, you forget. Um, and I wasn't reminded or of the incident about what happened when I was a baby until maybe like eighth grade. Eighth grade. So in around eighth grade, this was around the time my mom dropped me and my two sisters off at a cousin's house. We had never been to this cousin before, but she had dropped us off at a cousin's house, and it was her birthday, and she was gonna go and like have fun for her birthday and come back and get us. Well, she never came back. Okay, she never came back, and my then cousin and his wife took us on. Me and my sisters. Me and my two sisters. So I have one older sister and one younger sister. That was definitely not the best living situation, but I will say, you know, they probably did the best that they could, having three kids dumped on them and no place to go, you know. So hats off to them. But I started having dreams around this time. And this is when I was having dreams about what was happening to me as a baby. And I would just have these dreams like on repeat, and something in me told me like, this is real. Like, this happened. And I couldn't see everything in my dream, but I could see enough to know that I had on this beautiful white dress of some sort. And I just remember being taken into the bathroom. Yeah, I don't feel like we have to go into details or anything like that, but I would have these dreams, and I told my cousin's wife at the time, like, I think something happened to me as, when I was a baby. And I would tell her, what I was dreaming, and she told me, she was like, hold on, she told me, she was like, that she knew somehow, or something like that, and she had knew something had happened to me or something. So yeah, hold on. Yes. Maybe this is why it took me so long to because my throat is so tight right now. Yeah, I just need to, cause I feel like my throat was closing in on me. I wasn't gonna be able to get it out. So I say that to say, yeah. And I'm a Pisces. I've always been gifted dreaming and stuff like that. My dreams tell me a lot of things. My dreams tell me when people be lying or just when things are happening. So my dreams, very connected. That's all I can say. So yeah, so she ends up telling me, like, she kind of figured or something like that. Maybe fast forward to almost 2 years ago, and I'm talking to my sister, my younger sister, and she has some really great gifts too. I feel like she's probably like clairaudient. I think she can hear and see. Well, anyways, she does readings too. Well, I don't know if she does readings, but I know that she would read for me sometime, like, cause she was learning, and she was good. She's good. I don't know what she's doing now because we don't speak, but I say that to say it had to been like after she had bread for me or something like that, and she goes, Lisa, the man that did that to you, his name is, and I said yes, and and we both kind of cried, and she told me, like, pretty much how she could see me as a baby in this white dress, and that was just so pretty, and we both just cried on the phone because it was kind of like her validating what I had already seen, and she was having a full-on vision of it, and she knew everything. And yeah. So I say that to say more things came up, around that time. I realized that she was even telling me some things that I had told my mom and I had totally forgot about, because that wasn't the first. I mean, that as a baby was my first time, but it wasn't my last time. It happened several more times by different people. I almost felt like I had, like, I guess like a S on my, I don't know, like some kind of stamp on me. And it was just like people, I don't know if they knew, or I guess they knew, but it's just like they knew they could get me, you know. I don't know, that's what I felt, because why did it happen so many times? I don't know. But, I'm making this video because I don't want, I want people to know that they're not alone, you know, and that when these things happen to us, that it is important for us to speak our truths on it, to make peace with it, to get help, to get therapy, because it does affect, or for me, I could say it had affected my way that I connected with myself, intimately, the way I connected with others, just the way that I looked at myself, you know, on so many levels. So I say that to say, like, you're not alone, you know. If you feel encouraged to put your story out there and tell people what happened to you, I encourage you to, because I almost stopped myself from putting this video out. I was on TikTok and I seen this guy, and he had a baby, a picture of him as a baby, and he was like, I wonder what this baby would have been if it wasn't touched on and all that. I was like, wow, you know, that's so powerful. And I had been wanting to put my story out for a while, but then I thought, like, oh, I don't need to put my story out, you know, like, I don't, like, I was proud that he put his story out, but at the same time, it made me feel like there was no need for me to put out my story no more. And that just goes to show, like, we should never compare ourselves to each other, because, you know, him putting his story out was probably going to reach so many people, or me putting my story out is going to reach so many people. You putting your story out is going to reach so many people, and we all tell it differently, and we all have, you know what I'm trying to say. So if you do feel called to tell your story, and just know that you're not alone. And for me, just making this video is, I like, my throat doesn't feel tight anymore. I feel so much peace. Yeah, I just didn't think it was gonna be this hard telling it. I don't know why. Maybe I have to always think I'm so fucking strong. I'm always like, yeah, I'm a crybaby too. I don't want to say crybaby, Lisa, because that has like a negative connotation. So you cry, and I think it's beautiful that you cry. Okay, it's your way that you release, and it's your way that you heal, and I love you. It doesn't matter if you cry. I love you. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna end the video with that. Maybe I'll have a part 2.